Greetings everyone, it's Seven from London. I'm making a quick video. Apologies for the lighting, I'm actually in the middle of doing something. I want to come back with another video, just a quick video, just to update you on what's happening and some things that have been brought to my attention that are in need of addressing. Okay, ordinarily I don't really want to entertain bullshit. But on this occasion, I think it's necessary because what we have to do is shut down the bullshit. In order for us to be able to achieve justice and have the crimes against me and humanity addressed, we have to shut down the bullshit, because the idea that people are profiteering from my suffering and other people's suffering is just not on. It's not on. And so I'm making this video right now to flag some things up that have been brought to my attention, as I said. Now, as you can see, all of you who've watched my previous video, if you haven't watched my previous video, please have a look at it, because what it does is it establishes the proof that Richard Hanna and his crime ring are guilty. Courtroom audios don't lie, okay? Criminals lie. Criminals that know that for 15 years they have terrorized and robbed me and carried out a whole lot of carnage to keep their nasty, filthy criminal enterprise going are in panic right now. They are in panic, so they're using their bully boy tactics in order to try and shut the truth down. But the genie's already out of the bottle. Pandora's box is wide open for everybody to see, and they don't like it, okay? Right now there's panic stations, and so what they always do is that they'll pay filthy, dirty, evil, treacherous people to write a whole lot of lies and bullshit. So what we're going to do is we're going to shred these lies and we're going to establish what the facts are, okay? Keep establishing them, because all my videos establish that, okay? As I told you, I've already been to court. Now, this man, Richard Hanna, as you can see, is openly now stalking me. He's been stalking me for 15 years. It's nothing new. It's been going on for 15 years. I've had break-in after break-ins at my home, at my property. I've had bugging devices put in my home. I've had surveillance vans. They're there every day. You can remove your surveillance vans. Remove your surveillance vans. Okay? Now, this is a warning. This video, I want to, in particular, I want to put a warning to all those people who are hired trolls and agents who are hired to slander me and other victims, okay? We've come to a point now where the truth has already been established. Tough shit. You're going to have to deal with that. That's your problem, it's not my problem. Shouldn't have done the crime if you don't want to do the time. Now, this particular case, my case in particular, is already with the International Criminal Courts. It's already with the International Court of Justice. There's already investigations, because we're talking about crimes against humanity. We're talking about serious, horrific crimes that have been perpetrated. Now, they're hoping to be able to smear me in order to get away with it, but that's not going to happen. It's bigger than me, it's bigger than anyone, and there's so much evidence about these people that they're trying to shove the genie back in the bottle, but it's not going to work, okay? So what Richard Hanna has been doing, he's left over 25 comments on Alfred Weber's videos. He's literally putting comments over everybody's videos, hoping that people will have not seen the evidence, who obviously they've seen the evidence. It's there for everybody to see. The man's insane. It's clear to everybody to see that this man, Richard Hanna, is absolutely insane, okay? He's a monster. He knows he's a monster. He's got away with it for 15 years, and now he feels that because the truth is coming out, that he can bully everybody to remove the truth. It doesn't run like that. You cannot do what you've done to me and other innocent people and think you're going to get away with it. You're not going to get away with it. Your day is finished. And I'm appealing to everybody in the media, because you all know that this is true. You all know that it's factual. How can you let yourself go down with a lunatic like this man? How can you let yourself do that? This man is making himself look like a fool. The evidence is there. Do you think people cannot read and write and see what they've seen? They've already seen it. There's courtroom audios. He's actually got the audacity to say that the audios are made up. This is how insane this man is. All the courtroom evidence, besides the courtroom audios, there's document upon document upon document, which you have seen in the previous video, which was about him stalking me. This man is still playing the game to try to put Pandora back in the box. Sorry, too late for that. It's already out there. There's nothing you can do. And I ask everybody to re-upload the videos. He's going around trying to get people to pretend they haven't seen what they've seen. As I said, evidence doesn't lie. Okay? So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do two things. I want to do two things is my aim for this particular video. The first thing is to warn every single person who puts their name in my mouth and tries to smear me as being fake, okay? All those people who are paid and hired to do that, because genuine people don't do that. Genuine people would look at both sides. They would look at what I'm saying and then they would look at the evidence. They wouldn't call something fake when there's evidence to substantiate it. They wouldn't. These are people that are paid to do that, okay? And it's important for you people to know who these people are. The number one thing about these types of people is they never show themselves. They never show themselves, they never reveal themselves. They go around calling everybody fake while they're hiding behind some bogus picture, okay? That's a very, very clear telltale sign of somebody who's a perp or an agent. But here's what I'm going to say to you, okay? This is what I'm saying to you. There's one person in particular, and I'm going to show you who this person is. We don't know, obviously, the name, but that person is being investigated. Because what you are doing in law, there's a number of things that you are doing. What you're doing on the civil side of law is defamation and libel, okay? On the criminal side, what you're doing is called aiding and abetting. You are making yourself, or you have made yourself, an accessory to crimes that will result in capital punishment. That's no joke. Now, if you are willing to take money and whatever benefits you're getting from Richard Hanna, because people have got evidence of you communicating with Richard Hanna. He has been making you write these lies, okay? People have got evidence of it. You and this Claire Bella character who's changed their picture on and profile on Twitter because they knew that they were outed, okay? Now, there's only one of two things. Either you are a hired troll and you're an unemployed person who doesn't have any money, so you think that this is a good way to make money by smearing me. Big mistake. You got the wrong person. You've got the wrong person, okay? The other thing, possibility, is that you are part of the crime ring and trying to protect yourself. In that instance, I will see to it that you get capital punishment, because you are trying to keep a crime going against humanity that is horrific, where family members of mine have died, okay? Now, the second thing I want to do in this video is that I want to let the people in the media who are still running my shows, okay, illegally, unlawfully, criminally, who have my money in their bank accounts, you, Richard Branson, and all the people from ITV, BBC, Channel 4, Endemol, all of you who have my money in your bank accounts, I want my money, okay? Now, if I do not get my money, I'm going to give you a certain amount of time. If I do not get my money, your companies will be frozen, your bank accounts, okay? I'm just telling you, this is with judges now. This is not a joke, okay? This is bigger than me. It's bigger than any one person. What you've participated in is crimes against humanity. And what you are trying to do is trying to create some smear campaign in order to continue to conceal your atrocities. Okay, so let me do this right now. I'm going to start with this. Okay, I'm going to start here with this sick, wicked, nasty person who hasn't given a name, is hiding behind some whatever it is, okay? One would have hoped that this person was genuine with this poster, police cover-ups and murders, okay? Now, you would expect somebody to put that up to have some form of integrity and credibility and show themselves and show their names and who they are. But obviously that isn't the case. And that is something consistent with people who are hired to spread smear campaigns over victims. So when it's police cover-ups, what this person is actually doing is part of the cover-up. This person is engaged in the cover-up, okay? Now, I'm flagging you up because you've put my name in your mouth too many times, okay? And I'm telling you that what you are doing is you're making yourself an accessory to crimes that are going to be dealt with in the level of capital punishments, okay? And you're going to be amongst that list. Trust me on that, okay? So you need to think very, very carefully before you take more money to continue with your bullshit, particularly when it comes to me, because you are not going to get away with it, okay? Don't play games with me, okay? You're obviously a very sick individual. You're obviously satanic, and you're obviously very, very evil. Many, 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 many people all over social media have flagged you up to me from a long time ago, okay? But you've taken it upon yourself to put my name in your bullshit. So now I'm addressing you personally. I'm giving you a public warning, okay? And I'm serious. Anybody who deals with me knows that I'm serious, okay? Any of this crime ring will tell you that I'm serious. That's why they're paying you to actually do what you're doing. So let us have a look at what this person has been doing. Obviously, this person is blocked. And I suggest that you block them as well. All you people who are following this person. This is a sick, twisted individual, okay, who has chosen to put my name in their mouth. Now, Tony, who is the mother of Ambrose, she has ditched you because she knows that you are fake, okay? She knows that what you're doing, you've been trying to keep her contained so that no publicity will ever be seen in her case. The moment I flagged up her case and gave her some publicity on Romola D's channel, you started trying to come for me. So now I'm coming for you. I have a whole lot of investigators that are going to be looking into exactly who you are. And trust me, your name will be amongst those who have been aiding and abetting crimes against humanity. Okay? So, let's look what this woman has been doing. I just want to pull up where she's talking about me. She's got a whole lot of stuff about a lot of people. And obviously this person is there to conceal evidence against witnesses. Okay, let's see where we go here. Let's see if she's removed it. It was here a few minutes ago. I wouldn't be surprised if they've told her to pull it down. Alright, so the tweets are now missing. There's a whole lot of tweets that are now missing that have my name in it. Okay, let's see. Let's go down. Okay, I think we just found it. Alright, get some. Okay. She's a fake bitch. Anyone supporting Seven and her madness, read this. She's duping those who are victims. She's not a targeted individual, more like she targets the innocents for money. What are you talking about? So let's go into this thing what she's done here. This person here, she is fake. Anyone who supports her, know you've been duped by a fake victim. She's not a targeted individual. Do you know me? Have you been there for the last 15 years to experience what I've experienced? No, you haven't. You don't know nothing about me, okay? And evidence doesn't lie. This was created between you and Richard Hanna, okay? So there's evidence to show that you are supporting a man who's obviously clearly guilty, who's already been to court and is a psychopath. This is written on his behalf. Notice there's no commentary about any of the criminals, even though there's a lot of evidence. Anybody who's intelligent would actually have looked at the situation on both sides. This person hasn't created this in order to do a report on an assessment of the facts. This is what you call a smear campaign. Okay, so let's look at some other stuff. This is a tower burning, okay, in Grenfell Tower, where my aunt and my cousin were living on the 16th floor. Okay, so let's play this. Does this look fake to you, anybody? Does this look fake? This is a reality, okay? My cousin and my aunt, it's very well documented all over the mainstream media that my aunt, Marjorie and Ernie Vital, died in here. They were in here on this very day, being burnt to death, okay? So, Miss Police Cover-Ups 7, take a good look at this. Take a very good look at this. Alright, because if you think this is a joke, you got another thing coming. I will see to it that you go down in history. I will find out where you are, and I will see to it that you go down in history with all the people who perpetrated this atrocity. Okay? And all the other atrocities. There are people living in this building, besides my aunt and my cousin, that burnt to death alive. How fucking dare you? You're a fucking monster. You're a fucking piece of filth, okay? Don't you dare ever let me catch you write anything about me or anybody associated with me. Trust me on that. I'm gonna make sure that you get capital punishment for what you are engaged in right now. Are you hearing me? You better hear me good. Anybody that watches this video right now, I want you to make sure you block this person and expose them. Stop friending these people. Anybody friending these people, if you're following me as well, I will block you. Okay? Because this person is a sick individual. Okay? Let us play another video. For all those people that say Grenfell Tower never happened. These are people in the windows. Can you see that? These are people in the windows where people threw their babies and jumped out of the windows. Okay? 2 of those people happen to be my aunt and my cousin. Okay? And I'm going to show you the evidence of that. Okay? This is what they were subjected to. This was a planned, staged event which Hannah was involved in, and he knows it. This is why he's smearing people, smearing my name, bully boy tactics to try to get people to remove the evidence, because he knows that the gas chamber is coming for him. He knows that. He knows that a noose is waiting for him for what he's done. So he thinks he can carry on smearing people to keep the truth hidden. It's not going to run. This is how sinister we're talking here. This is how sinister what you saw unfold is. The BBC said it was like a horror movie, because that's what it was. It was a snuff movie. Alright? These people all planned to do it. They planned to murder innocent people, and there's a crime report which I'm going to show you. I'm going to link it in the description so everybody can have a good look at it, okay? And see that this ain't no joke, alright? So you little bitch who's putting my name in your mouth, you need to be very, 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 very careful of what you say. If I don't get a public apology, okay, I'm going to make it that you've made a mistake on this one, alright? But if I don't get a public apology for what you're doing, I'm going to take it that you are an accessory to this. You are an accessory. You know exactly what's going on, and you actually are participating in covering it up, okay? Okay. Grenfell mother died in final embrace with her son before Tower Inferno fused their bodies together in a bathroom of their flat. Marjorie and Ernie Vital tried to escape by climbing the top floor of the tower block and huddled together in a bathroom of an abandoned flat. They could not be reached, and harrowing details of their deaths emerged. Mrs. Vital's family said it took some comfort from knowing the 68-year-old seamstress. She was a top seamstress. She could make clothes like nobody's business. In fact, most of the women in my family can. Right? Died with her son Ernie, 50, despite horrific circumstances. And this witch has the cheek to try to smear my name. Are you for real? Are you for real? Notice that it's only 7 shares. This has been published a long time ago, but only 7 people shared it. Really? Okay, so who's this person, Anthony Joseph? Okay, so let's just look at this video here. Let me resume it. Bring this a bit down. Bring this down a little bit so you can see it better. Sorry, bring it down here. Playing a video because I want to show you something in particular. Because this is a video basically of the final moments. This is my aunt, and you will see there's a clear resemblance between myself and her. I grew up with this woman. Okay? This is my aunt and this is my cousin. And this person wants to go around smearing my name and say that it's fake. Are you having a laugh? Obviously, you're being paid to say that. So that tells me two things. Either you are somebody who hasn't got any money, so thinks that this is a way to make money on people suffering, or you are an accessory to this. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever it is, whatever your motives are for doing what you're doing, trust me on this. If you do not stop your wickedness and your evil, I'm flagging it up so everybody all around the world can see what kind of filth you are. Okay? Who does this? Who does this to families? This is what they're doing to families. Okay? Now I want to just pull it a bit forward because this is my aunt. That's my cousin Griffith, her brother. She has actually, okay. You need to see this. This says Grenfell Tower, US experts on 9/11 terror attack call to aid police investigation. Scale of the disaster means help needed to sift through 15 tons of rubble and debris across of incinerated high-rises, 24 floors. Okay? Now the reason why I'm flagging this up, because out of all the victims that they chose to flag up with, and there were a number of victims that died in this atrocity. There were 600 people living in the building, and people in the local community, the Latimer Road, Labrador Grove area, have written all over the walls, 400 people died. Now, some of these people have actually had testimonies from firemen and all sorts of people who have told them the official figures that have been flagged up as being 72 people or 71 people, whatever it is that they've said, is not the actual number. Now, anybody with half a brain knows that's a fact. If there were 600 people living in the building, there's no way that only 72 people died in that atrocity, okay? Now, it came as Scotland Yard confirmed the latest victim as 68-year-old Marjorie Vital, okay? Now, out of all of the victims, why was it my aunt's name that was flagged up? This is not a joke. So this person who's going around trying to do a smear campaign, all right, you need to think very, very seriously before you start your bullshit and smear campaign against victims. It's very, very well documented that this is what happens in the UK. They do not assist victims. They protect criminals, particularly when there's a load of money involved, like there is in my case, okay? Does this look like a joke to you? Does this look like a joke to you? Do you feel that this is acceptable? If you feel that this is acceptable for my aunt and my cousin to be burnt to death with all the other innocent people in this tower block, if you feel it's acceptable, you need to think again, because this is not a joke where you can go over social media and try to smear victims and victims' families so that we do not get justice, okay? Because that's what you're participating in. You're participating in a campaign to keep this hidden, to keep the real perpetrators hidden, okay? Which Richard Hanna is one of them, okay? Now, there's a crime report which I'm going to bring to your attention. Right, so this is a crime report which has gone to the public inquiry on behalf of my family. Grenfell Tower Fire Crime Report 7 of Solutionaries Media Network, undeniably a mass murder and crime against humanity of mammoth proportions. Anybody who has got an ounce of brain, intelligence or heart will see that that is a fact. And the fact that nobody has been arrested, nobody has been jailed for this, is a crime of mammoth proportions, and it's not acceptable, okay? Now, I need you to, everybody, to go onto this page, this website, and pull up this report and plaster it everywhere, because they're trying to cover it up. They're using me to try to slander victims, smear victims. I'm going to show you that that's a fact. This is Romola D's channel. Right now, Richard Hanna is trying to use bully boy tactics to get her to remove the facts and remove evidence about a case that has already been through the courts, okay? We emphasize murdered because after meticulously examining vast amounts of evidence and countless eyewitness testimonies during our own fact-finding investigations, the facts prove very clearly that what took place on the night of the 13th into the early hours of the 14th of June 2017 at Grenfell Tower was undeniably, sorry, I need to get some water, undeniably a mass murder and crime against humanity of mammoth proportions. This was the most wicked, brutal, vicious, cowardly act of evil and domestic terrorism ever committed in the United Kingdom. That is a fact. That is a fact. Now, this is part of the public inquiry. It's been sent to them. They can confirm that themselves. Let me open it up. All right. This was sent to the public inquiry. This is supposed to be a public inquiry, meaning that it's the public have rights to access this report, okay? If it is a public inquiry, which the family members, which I am one of, and my cousin Ronnie is a direct relative as well, it's his mother's sister, okay? We have the right to have this in the public domain, okay? Richard Hanna, because of his complicity in this atrocity, he's trying to get it removed, and he's trying to get all the evidence taken off social media because it implicates him in capital punishment scale crimes, okay? We, cousins Seven and Ronnie Nicholas, delivered this detailed crime report on behalf of our family members, the direct relatives of 2 residents who died inside Grenfell Tower. Okay? Now, in this report, you will see that it's very detailed. Okay, I think she might have put up the older one. There was a amended version, but it's pretty much the same. It includes the Farrell report. It shows that the residents were given, you know, they were threatened, in fact. They were repeatedly threatened, the residents, when they tried to protest about all the cladding and all the things happening in the building, which they could see was going to lead to what it led to. These people were threatened with court action. This is how they deal with people in the UK, and it's not acceptable. And it's only you, the public, that can make noise to stop this, okay? Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to smear me and try to label us all so that they can get away with this. And if you allow them to get away with it, trust me, they got more coming for you, okay? We're talking about the deep state. We're talking about the Illuminati. We're talking about serious, disturbed individuals who perpetrated this, okay? And it's linked to my other case, all right? Now, for anybody to say this person on Twitter calling themselves police cover-ups, I'll go back to that page. It says she's a fake bitch. Anyone supporting Seven and her madness, read this. Something that she made up herself with Richard Hanna. Everybody's seen you conspiring with this man. You and Claire Bella. So we know who you are, okay? You are there to do police cover-ups. That's what you're about. We know who you are, and we know what your job is, but your game is up, okay? Because if you think that this is going to run, it's not going to run, okay? Now let me show you something else. Alright, what you're seeing here is the script that was stolen by Tamsin Allen. I flagged it up in the previous video. If you haven't seen the previous video, I ask you to watch it, see the evidence about this Richard Hanna man, what he's done to me and what he's perpetrating. And this is why he's going hard right now. Who leaves 25 comments on people's pages? You leave one comment. You don't leave 25 comments bullying and threatening people to take the evidence down. Okay, so this is the script was stolen, which written by me, stolen by Tamsin Allen. I already said that in my previous video to this one. Now this actual script was dedicated to Christine and Mark, and also the late Rachel and Pops Vital. Now that's very significant because they are the parents of Marjorie and Ernie Vital that lived in Grenfell Tower. So let me just make this very clear to you, what I'm trying to get over to you here. This script that was stolen from me, racketeered with from Tamsin Allen of Bindman and Partners, who were part of my case, along with Richard Hanna, Helen Alexander, and various other people in the case. It's all listed anyway. Just off the top of my head, I just want to focus in on this right now because I'm so mad. I'm so furious at these people that are seeking to profiteer on people's suffering, okay? I will show you all the list of the people involved in the case after I show you and make the point that I'm making right now. This was dedicated to the parents, and I repeat, the parents of Marjorie and Ernie Vital that lived on the 16th floor, flat 162 inside Grenfell Tower, that were burnt alive, okay? This script is what made Tamsin Allen seriously rich and got Sir Geoffrey Bindman, so-called Sir, his knighthood, racketeering with this. This is behind the scenes. They won't tell you this, but they know this is a fact. Now, what are the chances that the parents of Pops, Pops and Rachel, children died inside Grenfell Tower, and there are people connected with the Seven Gate that stole this script? What are the chances that that will be a coincidence? You ask yourself that question. We're talking about horrific, and he knows it. Hannah knows this. He knows this. This is why he's going all out right now to try to shut it down, because he doesn't want you people knowing the facts. These are facts. Now let me show you my script on the front cover of News of the World publication. Right, this is my script featured. This is News of the World, okay, who were involved in the the hacking scandal. Sorry, I'm so mad I can't even speak right now. I'm just... Let me make it bigger. Right. This is News of the World in 2005, not long before the 7/7 bombings, okay? Here's my script. It was stolen by Tamsin Allen, The Walk. Now, these two characters, because this script that I wrote was actually based on facts. It was based on a true story that happened to my friend, Christine Agnew. She was my best friend growing up, and she had the story, she had the journey, and it was so amazing what she went through that I ended up writing about it, because I thought the world should know about what she experienced. It was such a beautiful story that I just was so touched by it that I decided to write about it. And it was on the disc that I had a confidentiality agreement for Tamsin Allen, which was on the same disc, okay, just to be very clear. This script was on the same disc where Tamsin Allen's confidentiality agreement was also, okay. She stole that disc when I went to the meeting with her, and because they were racketeering with my intellectual property, and you'll hear on the courtroom audios, the judge said on a particular level of truth, he cannot doubt what I said. He also said that I'm entitled to copyright, okay? He also said it was the best prepared document he'd ever seen from a litigant in person. He also said it doesn't matter if a whole lot of people don't want to lose, and the consequences of their actions are going to be serious. If you listen to the audios, just listen to the audios again, okay? Because this man is going around pretending that none of this is true, trying to smear me. Meanwhile, they got surveillance outside my house and have done for the last 15 years. And they've been stealing continuously from me, okay? This is a slave trade. And this is what they will do to keep it quiet. This website will provide an opportunity for viewers to download utterly damning information exposing what must be one of the most monstrous cover-ups in the history of the British judicial system. The case material freely on offer here concerns corruption and racketeering within the media and the entertainment industry, extending into circles of the judiciary and police service, okay? Beneficiaries, and that's the key word, beneficiaries of my work. That's what this is all about. We're talking about billions and trillions of pounds. Beneficiaries of this decade of racketeering include the BBC. Everybody knows about the BBC by now. ITV, Channel 4, Virgin Media, Scottish TV, and large international law firms such as Bindmans with its associated linkages to terrorism, and the Leveson inquiry into phone hacking and the police and media relationship. This case contains an extraordinary illustrative example of prolonged gang stalking and a reign of domestic terror at its most blatant. Some of the downloadable material has clear relevance to the London bombings of 7th of July 2005 and the assassination of John Charles D. Menendez 2 weeks later. My name is actually John Charles, okay? That's my family name, but I've shortened it to it was just Charles 7 or Charlie 7, okay? And I'm going to flag that up as well because this witch has tried to make out there was no band called Charlie 7. I already published it in my previous video and I'm going to publish it again so that you can see what kind of wicked, evil, wretched witch this person is. Okay? Now, the assassination of John Charles Menendez, what are the chances that there were a court case against these people in July of 2005? Alright, which should have come to the courts in July of 2005, but I had to go into hiding because I knew they were going to blow up the trains. I tried to stop it. I went to the magistrates court and I went everywhere trying to stop it because I knew what these people were capable of. These people are mass murderers and maniacs, okay? So when I saw that the man, John Charles, with the same name as me, was shot 7 times in the head while I was in hiding. Anybody with any ounce of intelligence will recognize that that is designed for them, okay? Not only that, they put a note under my door to let me know that it was them that did the bombings, okay? While I was trapped inside for 3 months, and my same cousin Ronnie was the one that smuggled me to Notting Hill Gate police station. I'm going to show you his witness statement in a minute. This material will shock, scare, and infuriate. And it should infuriate you people, okay? But it will also enlighten and encourage. This is a truly outrageous case. It involves Miss Seven, Miss Charles Seven, a Rosa Parks of our generation. Thank you, Tony, for that. The available material tells of her battle against some of the giants of the entertainment industry, against high-profile individuals, corporations, and controlling systems. It is a case that will strike at the treasonous corruption within our midst. An understanding of the scale of organised criminality operating within the establishment is predicated not so much on the facts which have been told to us, but on the secrets which have been hidden away and buried from our sight, which is what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep it buried from your sight. And that's what Hannah is engaged in. Right now he's bullying Ramona D and people, leaving all smears all over people's pages, stalking us. This man is openly stalking us, which is a criminal offence in itself. Now, the Sun newspaper have launched a smear campaign bullshit that apparently they're going to be tackling stalking against those of us who are suffering from this abuse, okay? What have they done? They've left this guy to run rampant. Why are you protecting a man that is obviously guilty? Obviously, everybody in the media knows this man is guilty, but they're allowing him to continue doing what he's doing. And it's wrong, because of money. And it's wrong. What you're doing is absolutely wrong. Okay? The only thing necessary for triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. You are urged to use this material. It is time to wake people up to the massive scale of corruption within our midst. Do not assist in the perpetuation of the cover-up by your complicit silence when our freedoms are at stake. Silence is not golden, it is yellow. Finally, have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather come out and expose it. Instead of actually exposing it, this evil person on Twitter is trying to put the genie back in the bottle. It's trying to put Pandora back in the box. It's not gonna run. You have exposed yourself. You have exposed yourself as being a treacherous, wicked individual, okay? Working with the likes of these people for money. That's what you're doing. So this is why I said in the last video, all you people who know about this man in the mainstream media, come out and expose him. Whatever he has on you, explain that he's done this to you, he's actually made you complicit in some way. Tell your truth, because this cannot run anymore. The evil that this man is doing cannot run anymore. He's an evil man. He's a monster, and everybody needs to know it. There are many victims out there. Come forward. Do not be afraid of this man's tactics, okay? Okay, let me show you some more evidence. Okay. Let's try to see if we can open the courtroom audios. Right, it's been removed. Do you see that? If it's not factual, why have you removed it? Why are you stopping people from listening to it? Because you know it has the facts. Alright, so let's go into this one now. This shows you the court actual documents, okay? It's got sworn affidavits, okay? Have they sworn a sworn affidavit? No, they haven't. So let's look at, first we look at the statement of my cousin, whose mother's sister, Marjorie Vital, and Ernie Vital, was actually killed in Grenfell Tower. Horrifically burnt alive in Grenfell Tower, okay? Let us not forget that. Alright? These are all information that the public inquiry, and it's supposed to be public, that means all the information that has been collected and gathered by family witnesses are supposed to have come to light. But instead what we're hearing is witnesses are being threatened. Witnesses are being threatened so that they can keep a bogus story running of a fridge causing a fire. You tell me if a fridge is going to do what we've seen here. Where is it? Let me just get it. You tell me if a fridge is going to make this happen. One little fridge is going to burn down a building, and if you look, you'll see there's all blue in the flames, because within those flames, people said they saw people running gas pipes into the building 2 weeks before, and all the fire exits were sealed. So they intended to do this. And there's 2 movies. One of the movies is called High Rise, which depicts this to a T. It depicts all of this to a T. That shows you how horrific it is. That's why BBC said it was a horror movie. It was a movie. It was a snuff movie. You tell me if a fridge is going to make a concrete building do this. It's impossible. You don't have to be a scientist to know that this is impossible. There have been scientists come forward who have said this is impossible. Firefighters have said this is impossible. This was rigged to happen. This was rigged to happen. That's why it's depicted on the movie cover, High Rise. If you go onto my Grenfell Tower special reports on my channel, you will see the evidence. Okay? It's also in the actual crime report that we've given to the public inquiry, which has been buried, and they're trying to bury it again, and now they're getting somebody here to smear me when everybody knows I'm the real deal. Okay, this is horror. If this person thinks this is not horror, it tells you what kind of mindset this wicked person has. Okay, right, so let me go back into the Fowler report, because I want you to look at the appendices. Right, this is the statement of my cousin Ronnie Nicholas, right, from December 2004. All right, as you see, Richard Hanna is there. Okay, I'm gonna take you through it again because these are facts, okay, and there is a nasty cover-up going on here to keep it quiet. Now look at the date of this statement, and it shows you how long we have been dealing with this and what our family have been put through. Okay, for this would make it 14 years, but it's actually in total it's 15 years. Okay, from the date of the meeting Christopher Gossage and these criminals, okay, and Richard Hanna. It's 15 years we've been going through this. Okay, and it's in the public's interest for you to help us to stop these criminals, to stop them, because if you think it's only us, look at how many people burnt in that tower. Okay, look how many people have died in 7/7. You think these people are planning to stop it there? They've been non-stop, and this is why they're trying to get this to all go away, because they know the consequences of their action. Even the judge said it on the courtroom audios. Even if it may have unhappy consequences to the participants. He said, there it is. Because they tried to strike it out. They couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He said he would be in breach of the law. He said he would be badly in breach of the law if he did it. And he knew that. Because you cannot see all this evidence and then pretend that it doesn't exist, which is what Richard Hanna is trying to get the public to do. He's hired this person on Twitter. Obviously, he must be paying them something. It's either he's paying that person or that person is part of the crime ring. That's it. Plain and simple. All right. So this is the court case reference number. Right? HC04C042565. Okay. I think it repeats there. But anyway, this was in court. I'm going to read it again because it cut off. I, Ronnie Nicholas, am the relative of Charles VII, and am a witness to the deeply disturbing criminal acts ever since Charlie met the defendants about her literature and her written material was stolen and infringed and sold. I can testify and confirm that the particulars of this claim contain the absolute truth. Therefore, in accordance with the Human Rights Act 1998, Articles 2, Articles 4, Articles 6, Articles 8, Articles 14 and 17, the Copyright Act of 1956, 88 and 02, the Misrepresentation Act, because remember he used a false picture of himself to lure us to the meeting by deception. That's misrepresentation. The lawyers took me on as a client and they misrepresented themselves because in fact they set me up to be literally defrauded and murdered. That's a fact, Okay, the Misrepresentation Act of 1967, the Trade Descriptions Act of 1968. This case must proceed. Otherwise, we would not be wasting court time on our time. Do you know how much money it took for us to bring these proceedings against 10 defendants? How much paperwork? This was a mammoth task, and we were successful, and they're trying to cover that up because they don't want any of you following suit. They don't want any of you doing the same thing. That's why they need to get rid of this. And that is why they're literally bullying Romola. I want you to rally to Romola's support. And Alfred Webber and everybody who's putting the truth out. We need to support each other, because if they manage to take this away, trust me, they're going to kill everybody. That's what they're about. Right now, we have them. We have them banged to rights. The evidence is damning and they know it. They don't want to give up the houses. They don't want to give up the power. They don't want to give up the cars. They don't want to give up the evil. But this case forces them to do so because it's so horrific. And that is why it's so important for every single person watching this video to upload it and report on it. Ask bigger channels to report on it. If they don't report on it, you know that they're not genuine. It's going to help us establish who is really who. Okay? He says this case is by far the worst, most shameful, nasty case of corporate fraud, professional malpractice, and total abuse of power ever. Okay? That's a fact. That's a fact. There are many cases out there. Okay, he says, I will go further to say that if this case does not proceed, and if Charlie is not paid and credited for her worldwide exploitation, of all her formats created from her stolen documents and scripts, as the rightful sole copyright owner, with cost, damage, and a public apologies for all the unnecessary grief and harassment, our family and friends will be taking private prosecutions against all 10 defendants. So, that's just one witness statement. Let me get you another witness statement of Christine Ague, whose script was stolen. Okay, I wrote a movie script and it was stolen by Tamsin Allen, and it was dedicated because there were passages in the script about Marjorie and Ernie's mother and father, because I dedicated it. I grew up with them. So I dedicated the script to them. So when they found out that it was a real story, they went to town to cover it up. Because obviously they just thought it was any old script until it emerged that it was real people. Okay? So, this is Christine's statement. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's too long, but you can go on to the Farrell report and read it for yourself. Okay, now this was done 23rd of November 2004. I, Christine Admiral, am Charles Seven's witness regarding the theft of our book, a manuscript called The Walk, based on my life. Our book manuscript was on a floppy disk left with the media lawyer Miss Tamsin Allen on the 19th of February 2004. Instead of returning this disk appropriately, Miss Allen stole it and sold our manuscript to be converted for exploitation throughout the international media for money illegally. Apart from this being an infringement of copyright, this was a total breach of her position as a practitioner of law and an infringement of our human rights. This has caused much pain, suffering, and embarrassment. I have included several exhibits to prove that the walk was stolen and plagiarized from my true story, which actually took place in 1985. Okay? So that just shows you that this is fact. This was part of the court case. There were 14 witnesses who all produced evidence and witness statements, and Hannah is trying to get rid of that right now. So I'm asking for your support, the public support, the British, not just the British public, but the world public who happens to be seeing this. This man, he needs to be in prison, okay? He's an evil menace to society. He's a monster, and he knows it, okay? He's stalking me. So I need the public to come forward and stop this, okay? These are my courtroom audios, okay? It proves exactly what happened, okay? And it proves that Richard Hannah was found guilty, okay? and they sent me death threats. It shows you everything. It shows you Richard Hanna. His name is here. Okay? He had no defense. He didn't turn up in court, and now he's trying to get rid of it because it proves that he's a criminal. It proves that he's engaged in crimes against humanity, and he doesn't want the world to know it. He knows the seriousness of all this. And this is why he's slandering, and he's smearing, and he's stalking us. And he's paying people to smear us right now. Okay? So I need you to watch this re-upload it. Look at how low the views are. They're keeping the views low because they don't want people to know. They're suppressing the views because they do not want this going viral. So it's up to you with big channels to load it so that other people can see it and know what's going on. Okay, so I'm going to show you something else. Alright, this is another video. Mediagate.
Wonderful man who is looking at my machine, and as some of you know, I've been experiencing hacking for some time now, and basically he's just done a malware and he's found to be 705 threats on my machine. Look at all this. Basically program. So now you're going to explain to me what they are. Can you just explain?
Basically you have external applications that runs into a remote location, right. That means that it's not in your network or in your computer, and these programs align themselves into your IP, your gateway network infrastructure from router, and they log into these softwares on your computer to basically steal files and steal system information.
Right, exactly.
So those are keyloggers, those are hackable programs.
Can you show us which ones they are?
This one's when it runs on x86. It has a bunch of names here which is not identifiable by any source.
Okay.
Those are hackable.
And show me the other one.
Any ones that you find with the zeros are hackable. Okay. Hackable because they go through a website, which this website uses their own infrastructure to hack into the program from the IP source.
Okay.
And then they go.
Can you go back to the one where you showed me it said PEEP?
Oh, PEEP is up here. Expert, adaptive, safeguard mode. Basically, they lie to you by telling your name, say PEEP.
Yes.
Say PEEP.net. See?
Yeah. So that is basically people that are spying inside your machine. Steal whatever they can steal.
There's a software that peeps into your system and sees what you got and sees what you do and steal your files.
Because you know what happens? They get into the machine and give you
have loads of they have software loggers, software exploits that exploit your computer. We have everything.
You know what I see? Sometimes I'm working on something and the next thing I know I see it on billboards.
It goes crazy, yeah. You have to start opening things.
No, I see my work on billboards.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
I see it on TV.
Now
the timing of it is exactly when the computer gets hacked.
And they remove them.
Yeah, wait a minute, let's just see. Let's get the dates.
Oh,
so that anybody, let's see the date. The date here that we're looking at.
Oh yeah, 15th
of
January.
1st of January. So this shows, by the scale of this, you can see this has been going on a long time, isn't it?
From at least a few months.
Yeah. So basically.
When is the last time you had a service on your computer?
I had it serviced last year. Yeah, in fact I bought it last year. Yeah, and within no time it was hacked again. And so I'm just showing you what goes on with me because people don't realise how bad it gets. And for people that are targeted like myself for their intellectual property, this is what we live with. People don't believe that it's going on until you actually see it for yourself. Yeah, they steal it from us. It's called industrial espionage.
Yeah.
They come into the machine and they steal what...
No, Microsoft, it's a big target of this.
No, Microsoft are involved in doing it.
I know, but they are a big target as well. They target many companies.
Yeah, they target individuals, they target companies, anybody who has new fresh ideas that they can exploit on the marketplace. If you're a fashion designer and you make quirky new clothes, trust me, your life is going to be made a misery. So anyway, that's one mission. This is another mission we're just going through now because I have the same problem. In fact, I've fallen out with people because of this, because I made a video for some friends and I told them the machine is being attacked and they didn't believe me. You know, they didn't believe that it was being attacked. They thought I was deliberately not showing the video that I made, and I said I'm being attacked, the machine is being attacked. This machine here, they actually removed the whole operating system, and I only had the machine for about 2 weeks.
Wow.
It was a brand new machine, nothing was in there, and they already started hacking as soon as I started making a video. I was like, wow man, I wasn't even online. So anyway, so I'm signing off. This is 7 and I'm basically in London and I'm just showing you the madness that I go through with my machines. Okay, I'm making another video of another machine on one of my computers, another computer that I use, to show you that that has also been attacked. And if you look at the threats, 2,989, and if you look at these, like the other computer which I showed you, you'll see that the programs on here are all to hack and steal and destroy data. And this has been going on with me since I've been targeted. Literally every single computer that I buy, it doesn't take a lot of time before I find that the computer is completely destroyed and hacked by an external source remotely. So I just wanted to give you an idea. I'll scroll down so that you can actually see it better. Let me try to see that perhaps. You can see that hopefully clearly. And this scan has just been completed today. Today's date is February the 13th. I believe it's February the 13th. I want to just scroll down and give you a look at some of these threats. Oops. So that you could see what was that? I don't know. Anyway. So look, there's this one here. Some of you hackers might be able to look at these codes and numbers and trace the source. Because these people that are hacking me, they're not just criminals, these are criminals that are behind a lot of the terrorist operations, the targeting operations of innocent people. They're running slavery operations against innocent people. These are some nasty, vile, disgusting people, you know. I mean, I call them people for want of a better word. But if you just look at some of these, you might be able to, there might be a hacker out there who can trace these and trace the root of where these are coming from. Okay, let's just pull a few more down so that you can actually see the different types of programs that there are. And this is why whatever I'm doing, whatever the theme is of what I'm doing, you will see it in the public domain. And if I'm working on a new concept, I'll start seeing it emerge on billboards with other artists, either dressed in the same way, using the same themes, the same concepts as what I'm doing, but they give it to one of their Illuminati artists to push it so that my concept is out before I put it out. So have a look at this. Fraud tool, fraud tool, fraud tool, fraud tool, fraud tool, fraud tool, fraud tool. Okay. So you can see for yourself what kind of attack that I'm getting. These are all programs that are designed to steal. They look for my ideas, whatever work I'm doing. This is how my work was stolen and given to David Beckham for his 7 concept, blatantly, absolutely blatantly. And in that situation, fortunately, I had emailed lots of people with the information about the project that I was about to launch, so that when it emerged on the mainstream, it would be obvious to everybody, and there would be many witnesses to see exactly where it comes from. Okay? So, but what you can see, photo, so you can actually see, this is the scan that I actually just carried out on this next computer. And you see, this is how organised IP crime is carried out. I mean, these are thousands. This is not just, this is hundreds. This is not a few. This is hundreds. And you remove these ones and they'll be back in. This is what they do. And they make money on your ingenuity, on your concepts, on your labour. It's a slave trade. This is a slave trade. I mean, if you consider all the musicians and all the artists and all the writers and all the authors, can you imagine if all of them found that their books were just taken this way, that their songs were being taken this way, that whatever they come up with, invented. That's why we have such a thing as patent office, etc. Even though that's a completely corrupt place. In this day and age, sadly, you can't go to the patent office to protect our work as creative people, because they steal from us in that way too. But this is thousands, look at it. Anyone who tells you the 7-Gate case is a lie, you know they're on the payroll. Anybody who prints out that the 7-Gate case is a lie, those people are on the payroll. Look at that, Lex Tech. These are companies that basically hack into people that are like myself, are creative people, looking for new concepts to put on the market. Because they know that people like me, we are ideas people, and we make our living by inventing and pioneering new concepts. So what happens is these corrupt terrorist organizations, they hack into your computers, steal your work, and pass it off as somebody else's work, while they hack and surveillance you, send you death threats to try to keep you quiet. And when you win your case against them, and you actually can prove it, like I can prove it right now, because all of these files are traceable. For anybody that's a hacker, they can actually find out the source. And I guarantee you, if we look into the source of who was doing this, you'll find it's the same people. The exact same people that stole my intellectual property in 2003. Here we are, it's 2016, and they're doing the same thing. But this time, it's not a case of them me going to meetings with them anymore. Now they've put a whole operation in place in order to steal everything that I do. Everything. Everything that I do. Now, as many of you know, I've had, my parents have died in what has been informed to me were suspicious circumstances by various different people who were eyewitnesses. In both instances, my mother died on the 2nd of January 2014, and my father died in July of 2014. Neither of them, indicated that anything that was wrong with them to life-threatening proportions as far as I'm concerned. And both deaths came completely out of the blue. However, we don't know what actually happened. And I've had 2 friends die on the same day. This is what these organizations that are corrupt do to people. They destroy people's lives. They destroy people's lives in serious, serious ways. And this is why what I'm showing you is proof to show you that corrupt organizations are hacking my computers to continuously steal everything and anything that I create, to ensure that I remain in poverty, to show that justice from the billions that they owe me is never given to me. When you look at all those swords, all of these hacking programs, every time they steal something, the thing that they steal, it sells for millions. They sell it around the world in mass racketeering operations. This is why what we're talking about is not just, my work, which was stolen in 2003 and sold to over 126 countries. It has never stopped. It's 13 years later, and this has been continuous. This is why we're talking about trillions of pounds. We're not talking about a few millions of pounds. This is a whole operation where they put it and infect and infiltrate creative people like me's life. Our whole life. They'll move into the neighborhood, they'll film you from above or across the road from where you live, they'll put vans, they'll follow you, they'll gang stalk you, all in order to steal intellectual property. This is what's going on. This is what's going on behind the scenes. Many people who are creative people who are being targeted, they don't know why they're being targeted. It's for your valuable intellectual property. This is just more proof to show you. Fortunately, this program, and I recommend that if you're a targeted person, you get this program or anything like it, and what you do, you regularly scan your machines. Many of my machines that are hacked, some of them are not even on the internet. I have machines that are not on the internet, and it's the same story. So, what does that tell you? It tells you that the hacking is not being done by just anybody. It's being done on a very high level, and it's being done by cartels. Criminal, terrorist cartels that steal intellectual property in order to racketeer on the open market, because they look for new ideas where they can bring about new things. This is why it's all tech companies. Do you see that? Well, in fact, it's not just tech companies that are behind this. The main Criminals, as I've shown you, if you look at the 7-gate list again, and I recommend you study that thoroughly, study the people, because we have to bring these people to justice. This is not just being done to me, this is being done to millions of people all over the world by the same people. They have these operations going on to all people, and when you take them to court to try to stop them, they try to kill you. This is what these people do. They're psychopaths. They're sick, evil, wicked people, and these people need to be removed from the public. They're not, they're not people that are reformable. These are not people that you can actually educate and reform. These are people that are entirely satanic and evil beyond what anybody can comprehend. This is 13 years. I went to a meeting with a lawyer. 13 years later, this is still what is happening to me. Still. 2016, it's the 13th of February 2016, and this is what I'm dealing with. Still. And it's been consistent the whole time. And most people, because, most people don't see this, so they don't have an idea what kind of nightmare that I'm living in. But now you know. So please spread the word, and I will continue to put some more evidence out in the...
But you've got to make sure that the training is relevant.
Well, I think if an association is going to be doing the training then, or involved in it in some way, then it is about that industry or that sector or something special connected. So the one I was talking about was training leaders in a specific area about how to influence government. And actually, it's a new area where something special connected. So the one I was talking about was training leaders in a specific area about how to influence government. And actually, it's a new area where, in the UK, no training apparently exists.
Yes.
So actually, leaders in a specific area about how to influence government.
Creative industries are a huge part of the economy. And we've got, I think, something between 7 and 8% of GDP for financial services, and very close to that same number for the creative industries, so it's big. Overall, it's a big span of different kinds of sectors within creative industries in general, so it's varied. But it's also extremely important in terms of its liveliness and its relevance to the world and to most of the people in this country today. The things that the CBI would see as important to work on around the creative industries are, first of all, IP or intellectual property and copyright and those kinds of issues which are extremely complex and important for the industry, not only in this country but obviously, and those kinds of issues which are extremely around the creative industries are, first of all, IP or intellectual property and copyright and those kinds of issues which are extremely complex and important for the industry around the creative industries are, first of all, IP or intellectual property and copyright and those kinds of issues which are extremely complex and important for the industry, not only in this country but obviously at a European level and globally. Secondly, the whole area of competition and what constitutes competition in some of these industries. And I think probably very importantly, the area of skills, education and skills for the right people to be able to take advantage of this really, really interesting sector. CBI is extraordinarily grounded in its membership. So when you take advantage of this really, really interesting sector, CBI is extraordinarily grounded education and skills for the right people to be able to take advantage of this really, really interesting sector. CBI is extraordinarily grounded in its membership. So when it talks to government, and it is the voice of business, when it talks to government, it talks with great authority and has real input from its members. So the CBI has an opportunity to create a large tent, if you like, in which all the different creative industries can be represented to government. Because if at government level you're dealing with a large number of different trade associations, clearly that's right on some specifics, but actually it's extremely helpful on the big issues to be able to talk to one organisation.
Okay, what you're seeing here is a press article that was actually based on me. I was supposed to be in the picture, but they got pressured to remove me, so they put another black woman in the picture. But this is in November 2004 while I was in court. Okay, and they were supposed to be running a feature on my case. And they decided to, it was so horrific what was being done to me, that the paper went to cover it. Now let me see if I could get to the side of this. How can I make it? Maybe I have to make it slightly smaller. I don't know if there's a way to bring it to the side. You can bring it up and down, but you should be able to go sideways, but I can't. Anyway, so Denise Roberts was the reporter that I spoke to, and she investigated the disturbing and growing trends of intellectual property theft in the UK, because the money being made from it is staggering. And she says, in the late 18th century, an astute but poor black man sold all he owned in the world to make his fortune, and ended up becoming America's first black publisher. In the face of extraordinary hostility, he managed to sell his book. But what she's flagging up here is that in today's climate, any of us who tries to do it, we get treated with the same brutality that you're seeing. This is very important magazine, newspaper article that you need to know, because it shows you that they make money from spin-offs. So it's not just the shows, it's the spin-offs, it's everything that comes with it. It's a whole lot of money. And that is what is behind this person, Hannah, who's been exposed, going around threatening people with court proceedings when he's already been to court. But he's managed to get rid of the case from the public spotlight because the judge was announced dead. And he thought that would be the end of the matter, and that they would have me on their little slavery program, stealing everything that I create for the next however many decades. But since that's not coming to pass, he thinks he can use bully boy tactics to literally terrorize people, stalk us, to stop us from the truth coming out. That's not going to run. And you can't let it run, people, because this truth involves every single one of you. These people are creating terrorist attack in order to keep this stuff going on. And it has to stop. It really has to stop. So let me get some more evidence before I sign out, just to illustrate how totally treacherous and wretched this person on Twitter is. They know exactly what the truth is. They don't criticize anything of Hannah. They don't look at the evidence and say, hold on a minute, but you created an email saying, on my command, unleash sales hell. What did you mean by you will have your vengeance and murdering people? What did you mean by that? She doesn't actually mention any of this. All she does is tries to demonize me, the victims, which is a program that they have running. It's another program. Anybody that has any real evidence to bring forward, they smear the people. They try to destroy us. Okay? I'm going to show you evidence that this is what is going on in the UK. Now look at this article. This article is flagging up. Right, let me see if I can make it smaller then, and then you can be able to see it. Okay, it's frozen on the page. It's frozen on the page so that I can't read it. But it says UK police forces have dispatched undercover agents into peaceful protest movements where they have engaged in intimate sexual relationships and even had children with the targets of their espionage while maintaining their cover. They have also been found smearing families of murder victims and justice campaigners, and undertaken illegal actions to discredit otherwise. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Wait a minute. Okay, the other article said otherwise genuine victims. but it doesn't open. So I show you this. When did the police decide their job was to smear crime victims instead of protecting them? That's what's happening to us in the UK. It's well established fact. They did it to the Stephen Lawrence family, and they're doing it to me, especially to black people. They're doing it to everybody, but particularly so because there's a racist element to what is being done to us as well. And in this particular article, they flag up that out of all things I've found out over the years, this has certainly toppled it. And it's true. This is what's happening to us. Where there's horrific cases like ours, we're being smeared deliberately by people who are pretending to protect. Okay, and that's what has to be stopped. We have to put an end to this. Okay, so I'll show you some more stuff before I sign out. This is proof that NTL took control of Virgin and took over Virgin. Okay, I'm not going to spend long on documents now because of the time, but you can look all this information up. Basically, they took control and they became Virgin Media after my case. Okay, so this was in September 2004. So that was on the back of all the racketeering that was going on. Okay, this is another document that shows that I won in the court before Lord Justice Chadwick and Sir Peter Gibson, and I've never been paid. I've never been paid, not even my court costs or my court, even after winning this. I've never been given 1 penny. And that's what's going on, and this is the reason why this man is literally trying to bury this, because it shows the staggering scale of corruption in the UK is out. It's off the charts. It's off the charts. Okay, so it is ordered. And it says the defendants, okay? It's got all of their numbers there. They're all numbered, defendants. Okay? And it shows Brian Nicholson. Alright, it says it is ordered that the claimant's application for permission to appeal and extension of time be granted. That the application to rely on further evidence be granted. And that the appeal be allowed. Alright, so that basically means that I won. They've never paid. And this is why this man is stalking me hardcore and now threatening Romola D and going on everybody's pages, writing all his filth. I want you to tell this man, you were found guilty. Back off. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Get out of my life. Pay me my money that you owe me. All you networks, pay me what you owe me. Remember this. They all know this. This is a fact. It's written in black and white. Pay me my money that you owe me and get out of my life. Okay? And this, none of this is going away. Please upload this to every single channel. Report on this. Because if they manage to cover this up, trust me, they're planning to kill all of you. This is what the psychopaths are about. Look what they did in the Grenfell Tower. You think it was just a management building? You need to read the crime report. And you'll see what kind of evil was behind Grenfell Tower. This is why he's fighting for his life right now, because he knows everything is coming out. He knows everything is coming out. And they're trying to stuff it back in the bottle. This is why I'm saying to you, members of the media, do not protect this man. Do not let yourself go down with this man. Okay? Do not let yourself go down with any of these criminals. This case is already in the International Criminal Courts. It's already in the ICJ. It's already on the highest levels of power outside of the UK. Because this is beyond the UK. So it's important that you literally do not support this man anymore. All the companies that are dealing with this man is a monster. You can see what he's doing to us. Stop aligning yourself with this man. Expose him in the media. Do not let your whole career go downhill because of this man, because if you think this is going to go away, it's outside of the UK. It's international, because we're not going to tolerate what you people have done to us anymore. We're not going to tolerate it. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than anybody. We want the targeting programs that is targeting and stalking millions of people in the UK and around the world to be terminated, to be permanently shut down, because what you're doing is criminal. Okay? This is what we're asking you to do. Do something good for a change. Do not support this man, Hannah. Doesn't matter what he has on you. Expose this man, bring him down with the rest of this crime ring. Okay? The other important point is Helen Alexander had 2 identities. After the case, this here, she pretended this one wasn't her, and she created a fictitious one, which was Dame Helen Alexander. And she became Dame. She got a whole ceremony, a satanic ceremony, which is all public. Okay? Now, when the facts came out about what she was up to, and she had been made president of this illegal racketeering and trading, she killed off the character Dame Helen Alexander, because it was clear that she was running 2 different identities. This is what they have. They have multiple identities. And then when they get discovered, they fake the deaths. I showed it to you. Watch the previous video. Okay? So let me show you some more things. I want to show you one more thing, and then I'm going to sign off. This is Tamsin Allen. This is the woman who stole my script from Byman and Partners. I need you to know her face, okay? Because it's no coincidence that the script, which was partially about Rachel and Pop's Vital, now their children have died. Their daughter and son and nephew or grandson. Their daughter and grandson was murdered inside Grenfell Tower with hundreds of other people. Okay? There were approximately 600 people living in that building. This is what has come out. And at least 400 people have died. This is what people are saying all over the local community. This is not me saying this. This is all over the community. People that know, and that is what is in the crime reports. They're showing, I produced a witness testimony of all people that are local in that area that saw what went down. Okay? What you saw in Grenfell Tower was not a fridge, it was staged to happen, to kill all those innocent people. And because I'm saying the truth, they're getting people to try to smear me. You wicked ass people, you will get yours. Because if you want to go down with these people, that's exactly what's going to happen. Anybody who puts my name in any smear campaign, if you see anybody that puts my name in any more smear campaigns, please gather the information, because they're going to go down as well. We're talking about capital punishment for all of you. All of you. This is the reference number that Hannah never responded to the case. He just got these people, Charles Russell's. And look at the reference number. I'll show you that it's Charles Russell's at the top. Okay? Look at the reference number. It says DA/AD, dead. All the letters were being sent to me as dead. Just like it said dead on the document where they were selling my work. And they had set up a company called, a licensing company called Seven. I'll show it to you again. I'll show that to you again. But just take note of this. Who writes reference numbers? Legitimate lawyers write these. A legitimate lawyer would write that to somebody. This is what Hannah had sent to me to keep my mouth quiet. Okay? Look at this. This is, again, dead, dead, dead. This is all around the trademark which they opened called Studio 7, stealing everything I created. This is what's going on. It's sick. It's twisted and it's sick. I'm showing you this again because it's part of the other exhibit that I just showed you. And there are things all over this document that shows exactly what we're talking about, legal force. This is basically a bunch of corrupt lawyers that are engaged in intellectual property theft. And they signaled me out as somebody who's a concepts creator to put me into this bullshit. Okay? Do not sign up with these people at all. All of these companies need to go down. All of them need to be literally shut down. And right now, as I've said, the case is already in the International Criminal Courts. It's also in the courts or International Court of Justice. All the files are there, and I have investigators investigating these people. This is why Hannah is trying to take it down and bully people. It's not going to work. Here you see the judge is talking specifically about Richard Hannah. Right? This is what Richard Hannah is trying to get rid of. But don't make him get rid of it. Put it everywhere. Let the world see what this monster has done to me and many other people. He will pay for his crimes. And everybody come forward. You people in the media, you need to report on this. Okay? The judge saw all the evidence that he used a false identity. Okay? Right? This is all based on stealing from me. Okay, look at this. This is within record amount of time, 1.27 billion from a company that was bankrupt. When I got there to the meeting, the whole place was empty. I said, why is this place empty? He said, oh, because we got money from the Japanese to build the facilities, but we lost the deal to Sky. They wanted to produce sports programs, but they lost the deal, the contract to Sky. So I walk in with a new concept to launch health and fitness in mainstream. And literally, they took it and they tried to destroy me and everybody for this evil, wicked, treacherous, criminal activity. This is what is really going on. Okay? And he has tried to hide this evidence. This is why he doesn't want the courtroom audios being shown, because the judge saw all the evidence and he ruled in my favor. It says it clearly in the courtroom audios. Okay, let me find it. It shows you all of the guilty defendants. It shows you everything about these guilty people. And they don't want this to come out. And the mainstream media are covering it up. It shows you everything in this courtroom audios. Let me tell you. Look. Shows everything that he's done. And that's why he doesn't want these courtroom audios being ever heard. Please get this out viral. Upload it, re-upload it to everybody. I want to find it where it says. That's what this lawyer said to me. If I didn't rip you off, I couldn't make a living. I want to just show you corrupt court process. When you go on the Farrell report, you'll see the whole process of what happened. This is his handwriting. Let me just stop it there. This document here is the handwriting of this barrister changing over the courtroom verdict. Excuse me. The official verdict was changed over. You think this person on Twitter doesn't know all this? Obviously they can see all this evidence. So why are they just choosing to smear my name? That just shows you what kind of filth that person is. But your name is actually along with these people now. You've put yourself along with these people now. Okay? Anybody who's following this person on Twitter, you need to literally expose them. Expose this person for the nasty filth that they are. Okay? This character here, hiding their identity. You people following this character, you're actually helping this person to abuse victims and keep our cases silent. That's what you're actually participating in. So I'm asking you, let this person know that you are onto them, that you are onto what they've done. Okay, this filth, this piece of filth. If you go to this part on the clock of this courtroom audios, whoops, 7, sorry, it was this section on the recording. Let's just check. So basically you will hear the judge say he rules in favor of me. So let me just make sure I get back to the right section so that you can find it. So go to 146, just before the picture of me. Then you'll hear the judge rule in favor of me. That means I won. Just like you saw on Justice Chadwick, that means I won. So for anybody who is still trying to say, oh, I didn't win, I won the civil case in the High Courts of Justice against these people. They doctored all the documents to make it look like I lost. This is why the Judge Chadwick and Justice Warren, 2 judges, ordered the courtroom audios to be released to me. Now Richard Hanna is going around claiming that I've created these courtroom audios myself. The man is insane. He's trying to say that I staged the whole thing, the whole court case, everything. The guy is literally insane. He's so busted, he doesn't know what to do. So he's just going around bullying people to try to get rid of it. Because he's managed to get away with perverting the course of justice for the last 15 years. But it's not working anymore. The cat is out of the bag and he's trying to put it back in there. It's not going to work. We want you out of our lives. I want all you networks who've got my money. You know this is a fact. Organize to get my money. Organize to have my money issued into my account. That's what you need to do. Organize it ASAP. Okay, you've had 15 years with literally terrorizing people with my money. Now I want that money back. And I want you to shut down your targeting program against me and everybody else who you're targeting. Alright? I want you to shut down those programs that are literally denying victims, genuine victims, to have justice in the UK and all over the world. I want you to shut down those programs and do something right for a change, you media. Do not go down with this man. I'm telling you, it's with the International Criminal Court and you will not cover it up. I've had judges already contact me, okay? So if you think that this is going to go away, it's not going to go away, right? You've made us literally suffer for nothing, for misery, for what? For what? For money. Well, we're going to get that money back off you and we're going to show you how to use money correctly and how to heal people and do positive things with money. That money that is my money, credit it back to me and credit my work, and I want a public apology from every single person who has been involved, including this person who's putting my name on Twitter with their lies. Okay? So let me just do one more thing, or maybe a couple of things, and then I'm signing off. This is a video of me being invited to speak by international judges from all over the world on the protection of intellectual property rights and also about media ethics. Now, the reason that I was invited as a speaker is because I won my case, and the case is historical. And so I was invited as a keynote speaker to speak before international judges from all over the world. Now, had I not won my case, I wouldn't have been a speaker at this event. Okay? So when this piece of filth, or any piece of filth, tries to come forward and smear my name, you need to know what is going on, because they're doing it to victims all over the country. And that is why people are not getting justice, because they're employing people like this person on this network here, on this channel of Twitter, this person here who's exposed themselves. This is the reason why victims are not getting justice, because they're going around smearing this person. That's obviously that person's job. Okay, and this needs to be shut down. This person needs to be shut down. They will be investigated. Okay, they are being investigated. And once we find out who this is, they will be added to the list of people who will face Nuremberg-style trials, because that's what's being arranged right now. And, you know, that's why I'm giving you a warning. You have the opportunity to issue a public apology and remove all the lies that you've written about me and my family. You remove it. You remove every part of it. Okay? And if you don't remove it, trust me on this, you're going down. You're going down. You're going to wish you never ever mentioned my name. Right? I've showed you this before, but I'm showing it to you again, because this is how brazen these people are. This is 2013, before Grenfell Tower. Okay? As you can see, this is a building opposite my home where the surveillance against me was actually taking place. It had been there for about 10 years. And when Tony Farrell put this report together, they burnt it down. Just like they've burnt down the building round the corner, just basically right next to the car park where I'm staying at the moment. Okay? You need to make sure that this person, the next time they want to talk about this being fake, you need to show them this video and all this evidence. Okay? And demand that they take their filth down. What they're trying to do is to stop people to supporting me so that the truth will not be known and this evil will continue. But what you're doing is only going to make you be in the spotlight now. Now you getting your turn in the spotlight. Yeah? You're calling me a fake bitch. You're the fake bitch. Okay? I don't do fake. You obviously do fake. Alright? Otherwise you wouldn't be trying to cover this up. Obviously you're getting some benefit from it. Otherwise you wouldn't put my name in your mouth. But you've got to remember, I'm giving you a warning to remove your lies and issue a public apology. You've seen the evidence. Now issue the public apology. You've got 24 hours. And if you don't remove it, we're going to check everybody who's flagging you up, who's communicating with Hannah. Obviously Hannah's telling you what to write. Everybody that sees what you're doing is going to start flagging you up as well. Okay? Because you're an evil piece of work. You're evil. To let this run and try to smear me, to keep it going, you are evil to the core. It's people like you that keep the evil going on in the UK and around the world from continuing. You keep it going so that people suffer. Okay, but you're not going to get away with it. Not on this occasion. You're not going to get away with it. That person on Twitter also said that Charlie 7, a band, and there was no female called Charlie 7, and that this didn't exist. What they did, because I've been exposing it, they pulled it down. So I'm reminding her again. I'm showing her the evidence. There it is. Can you see it? I'm sure you can read and write very good. We're able to write bullshit. There it is. Alright? Now take your bullshit down. Take your lies down. Okay. Now this document here is proof that my name, John Charles, is actually a double barrel name, but it was shortened because I was a tomboy. You can see it here. This is a letter from Westminster City Council to me. Okay? Alright, but obviously I shortened it to Charlie 7. Okay, I'm back in my usual spot. And I'm just continuing this so that I can finish it off. So basically this document here, it cut off, so I'm re-recording it. This document here is a letter that is addressed to me. As you can say, it says Miss Jean-Charles. Sometimes it's spelled John. Okay, but it's by Westminster City Council, about Council Tax Department. I had fake council tax sent to me on a scale that you've never seen in your life, you know, and basically they tried to say that I had 2 properties when I never had 2 properties. It says I can confirm at no time did this Mr. Jean-Charles have 2 tenancies running together over this period of time. Okay, so basically they were trying to fabricate anything, as they do. You know, this is the standard protocol when it comes to witnesses in the UK. All the money is spent on smearing, terrorizing the victims, and covering up our cases and trying to silence us, which is what is going on right now. So it comes as no surprise to me. But this, I'm flagging this up because this character, Police Cover-Up 7, says that John Charles being shot 7 times in the head while I was in hiding and my case was supposed to happen didn't have no connection to my case. So how is it that somebody who has the same name as me, who's shot 7 times in the head, everybody knows that I'm Charlie 7 because I'm 7 in the line of my family, I'm the 7th child. How is it that this can possibly be a coincidence? It's not a coincidence that that happened, just like it's not a coincidence that my aunt and my cousin were in that building and they were burnt to death. Don't try it with me. Don't try it with me. But now we see the evidence. Okay? So, I want a public apology. I'm going to flag up the fact that you made a video talking about my water supply as if you know about my water supply. So obviously you must be involved in the poisoning, the attempt to poison me then. So if you know about my water supply, that means that you must have been involved. You talk about the water and why my water is the way it is, but you don't show the video and the photographs of the men pulling up my water pipes. You made an excuse for why my water looked the way it did, but you didn't actually put in the video the 2 men who had pulled up in a van outside my front door and pulled up my water pipes. Why is that? If you're a genuine person, why did you not put the whole picture in? Because that water, that glass of water, and I'll show it to the people now. Okay, for anybody who wants to find the report, you just click on this and then you go to final report. This one is a rebuttal against the smear campaign that took place after this report was done. So that's worth looking at because you'll see the same tactics were done on that occasion as well to shut down my case. But that time they used Mark Windows, who's a paid agent. Everybody knows he's a paid agent, okay? Just like these people are paid agents, but this time they're doing it in concealment. They're hiding their identities in order to do it. So I'm going to go into the report and I'm going to take you to the page whereby it shows you the picture that this woman has flagged up. It's a female voice, so we're assuming it's a female. But everybody that has spoken to me about it have said that they found her in exchange of emails with Richard Hanna. So let's get to the point. She doesn't mention any of this report. Why is that? Do you have selective memory? You have selective memory when it comes to trying to smear me. Oh, let me show you this, by the way, because this was flagged up by the media. Okay. Let me just go. Where's it gone? I just saw it right now. 1 second. Okay, this you will see, if you look at this document very carefully, you will see it actually has the date of 7/7 bombings. Let me pull this up a bit so you can see it. Pull the document down and the screen up a bit. Okay, so this was put in my door during the bombings. And as I just told you, that they were sending fake bailiffs round repeatedly to my house, all running up to when the court case was supposed to happen. But of course the bombings took place and that halted the proceedings. So I had to go into hiding. Now, people came up into the building where I was in hiding and they slipped this underneath the door with the date of the bombings to make it very, very clear that it was them that were behind it. And as you can see, this says John Charles. Now, sometimes they spell it Jean, like Jean, French, the French way. Because my family are Caribbean people, sometimes it's spelled Jean, sometimes it's spelled John, but it's John Charles. Okay? And that is the evidence to show you that what this person is talking about is a crock of shit. Okay? When you do your critique on my case and the evidence, make sure you talk about this report. Make sure you talk about the whole lot of evidence and all the courtroom audios and everything. Don't just pull out bits and pieces to try to paint a fake story, because that's not going to wash. In the court of public opinion, we deal with facts, we deal with truth, and we deal with evidence. We don't smear people when there's no justification. We don't protect criminals, which is what obviously you're doing. Okay? And you've exposed yourself. And that goes for anybody else who takes bribe money, dirty blood money, to cover up the truth of what is going on here. Again, I'm showing you this document because this is this man, Brian Nicholson's own handwriting, where you clearly see he's writing a judge's order. So he's perverting the court of justice, perverting the course of justice, which is in contempt of the court, by writing out his own orders and changing the facts. That's a criminal offence. Why have you not flagged that up? Why have you ignored this, Ms. Police Cover-Up 7? Because you don't want the facts to come out, do you? Because you want to keep this evil going on so that you can profiteer from people's misery and suffering, isn't it? You dirty piece of filth. Another piece of evidence. These are my bundles, 2 boxes worth of evidence that went into the court. As you can see, they've got the actual numbers on the letters on the side, and they're numbered and lettered. All right, which contained evidence from myself and 14 witnesses. This man and Hannah ordered the staff to not give it to any judge. And they said, if she comes in again, just keep fucking her around. That's a fact. All right? And that's exactly what's going on right now. But instead, it's being done over social media. That's why I'm making this video, to show you all what's really happening, so that you can actually see for yourself how they cover up people's cases. All of this evidence, which is damning against this crime ring, has been covered up. And this is what this person on Twitter doesn't want people to see, because she is profiteering from the crimes against real people. And it has to stop. It stops now. Anybody else who engages in any of this, I'm just telling you now, all of this evidence is within the criminal courts. If you think that's a joke, it's not a joke at all. I'm telling you factually, if the British government don't want to deal with this, it has to go to other countries for them to deal with it, because they've signed a treaty, the Geneva Convention, and they're not supposed to break that treaty. Right now they're in breach because they've engaged in crimes against humanity. We're talking about genocidal crimes against humanity. This is what this case is flagging up, and that's what they don't want anybody to know. They want Grenfell Tower covered up, where they can just say it was a fridge so that they can continue as per usual doing the evil that they're doing. And this is posing a serious problem to them. But that's not my problem. I don't want to live with this anymore. This is your filth, it's not mine. These criminals are for you to put in prison. I shouldn't have to do all this. People are getting paid to do what I have had to do and other people have had to do. People are paying taxes in this country, and this is what they're doing to victims. This is what you're doing to victims. This is what you want to do to us. That's not going to run. Okay, this person who's on Twitter has flagged up this picture and seems to know everything about what happened with my water supply. How is that then? How do you know everything that was done to my water supply? Was you there? You must have been, to know what is in this water. But what she doesn't do, she doesn't flag up the fact that there's a man stalking me on my window. She says I'm a fake targeted individual, but she doesn't flag this up. Neither does she flag up the fact that there are more men. Let me find it. I think it's the picture above. Just above. She makes a video with this water in it, giving an explanation of why my water looks like this. But she doesn't explain that there are two men pulling up my water pipes who have arrived without notice to pull up just my water pipes in the building in order to make my water poisoned. She doesn't talk about that. She just brings this into the equation without showing you the two men. Let me make it bigger so that you can see it proper. Can you see the two men wearing those green or yellow jackets? Those men are actually in the pavement. You can see that's the pavement. And they're outside of my front door and they're pulling up my water supply to poison me. Why would you cover that up? Because you're evil. That's why. You've exposed yourself. You're an evil human being. And everybody on Twitter needs to out you. After this video, you're going to be outed. Okay? Anybody who's still following that person, you need to know what kind of person you're following. I'm talking about this character here. This character here. If you're still following this person after seeing all this evidence, everybody following this person is going to block you. Okay? We're going to block you. If you're connected to this person, obviously if you don't know, you don't know. But if you've seen the evidence I'm showing you about what this person is doing, and you don't block this person, then we're going to block you. And we're going to expose you as well. Because this is criminal, what this person is doing. It's evil beyond words. Okay, this is another example of what this woman has tried to get away with, because these things are so blatant, so they're trying hard to create some phony story to make it look like it's just normal that vans with 777 demolition will turn up outside my house after they burnt down the building and put a poster, burn the floor. Why didn't you mention that? Why didn't you mention the poster, burn the floor? Why didn't you mention the building burnt down opposite me? No, that would give it away, wouldn't it? Let me show you something else that she failed to mention. She also failed to mention this was also put on my door. How do you explain that? Why did you show the vans but you didn't show that this was put on my door? And it's been put on another door that where I've been staying. Why didn't you mention that? Because you're a liar. because you're evil, that's why. Anyway, I'm signing out.